So I'm generally not sure when it comes to this brand new Thor Jane Foster buff. At this point in time, this is the second time the champion has received the buff. And even now, I'm still kind of questioning, like, what is her place in my roster, your roster, and where I see using her that's going to be effective. Now, I genuinely do enjoy the buff. I think this is a good buff. I like the way the ramp up is done for it, but I'm asking my question, like, first of all, she's not a defender, and in this current age in MCOC, you're kind of looking for a defender and attacker in one complete package. Yes, that's not exactly the full truth, but if you're looking for something that's able to quick ramp on damage, yeah, okay, maybe I could see her as a Battlegrounds attacker, but maybe I don't. Maybe you've got to think about the rotation of it. Like, do I need to access further from the SP1 first, or do I do an SP3, therefore to get power gain very quickly? Do I then rotate round for similar to Nebula and say, actually no, more Nebula, where I want to get to the 15 passive shocks as quickly as possible, do an SP2 like you can see on screen right now, and then kind of go, all right, well, that's just game over because I've thrown that over, and then that's how I've won necessarily. Now, this is a rank 3 6-star. I'm not ranking up a 7-star. I'm definitely not doing that. And Kabam, at the point of recording this video, I've not given 7 stars in order to use. So it is what it is on screen right now. And of course, like, if it was a higher rank 6-star, then maybe I could have done some of that and ascended, do the damage in a quick rotation. But I'm still always, I'm asking myself in this video, and whilst I was recording, like, where do I see her? Why do I see her? I love the quick access to stagger. It's something with other champions, I think that's fantastic. But the more that I'm using the champion, the more I'm like, well, am I going to use this as a quick bursting champion? I'm trying to get 2 furthers, build to an SP2, and then increase my damaging debuffs, and then it's going to be like lights out for the enemy champion. Am I going to be able to get my second further off? Is it going to work? Is it not? Is the AI going to be helping me out? And that's the question, isn't it? Like, if I wanted to do a quick burst of damage in a very short space of time, I might actually find some worth in something like Battlegrounds, because I'd be able to do that quick ramp SP2 and then the fight is over. But that will never work out in every single scenario, especially because I have to hope that there's not a shock immune option or shock immune champion, or a champion that this is going to be not a good fit against. Like, going up against a Cosmic most of the time is where I might use her, but she doesn't exactly cover all bases when it comes to Cosmics, or maybe it's down to user error on my behalf. So providing champions are able to be staggered, that she's good, and that could actually suit a lot of scenarios. There are some interesting things, like, it's not like doom and gloom if you go, oh, well, technically, Rich, this doesn't work out in the scenario, and the same thing with some of the other Cosmic champions you're going to see up against in the footage right now. Well, yes, that's definitely true, and if you get your rotations wrong, then that's an issue as well, and your timing's wrong as well when you throw the SP2. Yes, that will be an issue. One thing that I think that's quite good is Kabam put within the kit that you can actually build up your attack rating with the more shock passives on, so to speak. So therefore, mistakes can happen. You know, I'm taking a 5-star here against a 6-star rank 5 6-star ascended Gore. I want to throw his SP2 in a second because I don't have because I didn't, well, I wouldn't say like I get my kind of aggression in right. Like, you can see, oh great, all that shock damage, and it's like, yeah, just recover back all that regeneration. So it happens, you know. And it's not, one thing is with Thor Jane Foster, she's not a one-size-fits-all, and even though it kind of feels like that's the case, that what Kabam are kind of like putting in place, I just think that she's more of like an elder difficulty kind of champion, or like a classic difficulty champion that you want to just break in as an alternative option to be able to suppress buffs. Because let's face it, against Scream, you know, Scream's going to get auto block, and you're going to be screwed by the end of it. So it's not one-size-fits-all for all Cosmics, is it? But my final thoughts on the champion is that she can have these little kind of fun interactions. You know, you've got Juggernaut here, and then footage against Storm in a minute. Prowess buffs, unstoppable buffs. Well, the unstoppable buffs from my point of view of like, well, the OG champion version had access to, Juggernaut had access to unstoppable a lot more frequently than, say, the current form. But still, that suppression, that stagger is nice, depending, again, how you rotate. If you're like me, I played about 2 different scenarios. I went SP3, Then I went SP1 and then tried to do an SP2 right after that, and that worked. I think that it might be quite risky to do like an SP3, SP1, SP1, SP2, mainly because there's a short time window. If you can extend that power gain in any kind of way, or kind of really ramp through on your rotation, then that can work. You know, with what you kind of figure is going to be the better kind of the two to kind of rotate around. But like I said, like if here's a 7-star version of this champion, I think it's going to be actually pretty fun. But again, same thing as I said, suppressing buffs, fine, and that's dandy, and that is great. You know, right here, I love the little kind of hitting not a 5-hit combo and then throwing in like a heavy attack and getting a stagger on, because of course that's the rotation for it. And you can see here where I did actually fluff up there. I was meant to do a striker stun SP3, but I messed up my timing, so whatever. But I managed to get like a really kind of decent run in right there, so I'll take that. You know, that's nice. And what I'm trying to do now is kind of build up SP1 the further, and then try to kind of rotate around with that SP2, because I'm not going to make it to do another SP1 in that time frame, because the AI is just not going to help me out, as we get a nice kind of SP2 right there, and you can see the nice amount of damage. Rank 3, 6-star right there. It's not super powerful, of course, but still a lot of fun. Like, it is a fun champion. It is a fun rework and fun improvement. I just don't know where I'm going to use the champion, and except for Elder difficulty or some very specific matchups when I need to suppress buffs. But I don't know, like, put in the comments, where do you see yourself using this champion? I think that's the main point for me to ask you. Where would you? I'm got options, but I think for me it's Elder difficulty, which seems a bit weird to say that, or maybe some fights where I need to access to some shock debuffs. That is important for a node, but again, it's specific on, well, is it easy to find champions that have easy access to shock debuffs, like Black Widow Deadly Origin, for example, or maybe Nebula. No, Nebula, same situation, like Shuri and infamous Iron Man, you know, the ones that have easy access to them. But what are your thoughts? Put it in the comments. Thank you very much for watching this video, and I'll see you all in the next one. Have a lovely day and goodbye.